All right, let's review. If his compliments to you are only about how you make him feel or how you serve him or the family, red flag. If he only compliments you when you're playing the like conservative, submissive, humble, quiet role, red flag. If he uses grandiose compliments, especially early on in a relationship, nah, he's got an agenda. He's just trying to manipulate your emotions so he can have more access to you. Red flag. If his compliments are thrown into the middle of an argument or a disagreement as a way to diffuse the situation or divert attention for any harm that he has done, red flag. All right, and here we need to add another one because there's one word in this compliment that is a red flag for me. Most. Men often only know how to compliment if it's a comparison against other women. What do you think a man is doing when his compliments to you are pitting you against other women? Trying to compare you and see how you stack up against other women. Is it really a compliment to be told how you rank in his mind to other women? I've never met anyone like you. You're the most amazing. You're the most beautiful. And I've never been with another woman who fill in the blank. But this is a core element of patriarchy, is that men will try to pit women against each other, and women are supposed to compete with each other for men's attention. So making comparative compliments is a way to reinforce that. Men want to be the source of your self-esteem. They want you to need to go to him to feel good about yourself. And when men pit women against each other, it makes all women go back to men to try to feel better about themselves. And they compete with each other and they try to get on top of the hierarchy, up the ladder, and they have to go to men to figure out how they're ranking and get sexiness ascribed to them, get value ascribed to them from a man.
You're not coming to me to love me. You're coming to me for me to love you. Because your goal was never to love me. Your goal was just to take from me. Your goal was for me to heal you, and that's it.
Listen to how men compliment women. You make me feel like $1 million. I know you love me so much. I really love how devoted you are to me and how devoted you are to our family. I love how you take care of me and you take care of the family. I feel so safe with you. I feel so good about myself with you. I feel like a man when I'm with you. I feel so known and understood. Like you really get me. I really appreciate how committed you are to me and to our relationship. You make me feel secure. Those aren't compliments. That's a list of ways that you're serving him. And he's trying to make you feel better about how you are serving him. He's trying to show you that he appreciates how you are serving him. It's not a compliment about you, it's an appreciation for your service. Those are very different things.
You are one of the smartest people I know. The way that you see the world, it's like you can see through the haze of what's really going on, pull back the curtain and see the reality. Like when you speak, I take notes. It's so, I don't know, I feel like I'm talking to a master class. Every time I talk to you, it's profound how you're able to understand the reality of what's really going on in the world. You are severely kind and considerate, but you also balance that really well. I feel like you're taking care of yourself. You see what other people need and you care about that, but you're also just making decisions that are good for you. And I think that's so attractive. You actually follow through with your convictions. And I think most people talk a big game, but you actually apply it to your life and you live it out in ways that are just really, really impressive. You're really courageous and brave. There's things that you do and that you act on that I know are really, really hard for you, and you still go through with it. It's, yeah, courageous, brave, heroic. You're really good at setting boundaries for yourself. Like, yes, you're very kind and compassionate and you consider people all the time, but in recognizing and being aware of your own needs, you prioritize yourself, and you're really kind about how you talk about those things. And you're very firm about how you talk about those things. You don't let yourself get walked over. You give me hope, like for humanity. Not just watching how you live, but hearing how you think. It makes me think that we might be okay. I love the idea of my kids spending time with you and just learning what it means to be a human being by watching you and emulating you. God, I would love for my kids to be more like you. I really appreciate how you take care of your body. You're making good, healthy choices for yourself, and you're not fully enveloped in what other people think about you. I love how you've kind of just taken on your own style, and your own sense of attractiveness and sexiness is something that you own for yourself. And when you walk into a room, it feels like you feel good in your own body. And I know that's not easy, and I really appreciate that about you. I know I said you're kind about your boundaries earlier, kind and firm, but you're also really fierce. When you believe in something, when you're convinced about a cause or an idea, you don't hold back. And you're not afraid of taking up space. You're not afraid of having your opinion be known. I think that's fucking powerful. I love how you deconstruct things. Like, you don't take things at face value. You're unpacking it. Like, I know I wasn't around when you deconstructed Christianity, but I still love talking about that with you. And I love watching you go on your own journey with gender and sexuality and deconstructing patriarchy and the like indoctrination that we've received in our society. It's such a wonderful journey to be able to see and experience with you. So thank you for allowing me to see that part of you, because it's inspiring. I know I already said that you're like brilliant and you're so fucking smart, but not only that, you are willing to put the work in to do research and understand things. It feels like if I were to bring up any topic, you would not only have an opinion or perspective, but you'd have a well-educated opinion and a perspective, because you've dove into the deep end of that topic at some point or another, and you're not just speaking from your own perspective. You're humble in a way that allows you to learn and take in what other people have already, like the work that other people have already done. You're humble enough to recognize that that you can learn from them, and that they have blazed a trail for us. You're extremely talented and creative. I love whenever you paint and draw, and I know it can be a little embarrassing and difficult to let other people into that, but God, it's so good. I'm so impressed. You have such a strategic mind. I love playing board games with you because I don't have to hold back, and when I don't hold back, you still beat me like 80% of the time, and I think that's fucking sexy. One of the most attractive things about you to me is when you get on a rant and you get going and you speak with passion about the things that you care about. Just watching you and listening to you care about important things that matter in the world, it inspires me. And you have influenced me and changed me for the better in many, many ways. Not that it's felt like you're trying to change me. It's just by like watching you live. It's like, oh, I can be, like, you can live that way. I could be that good of a person. I could be that intentional and insightful and generous and powerful and courageous and passionate. Oh, okay. Expectations raised.
Most compliments from men cannot be trusted. I'll explain. So first, to address this comment, I'm the lucky one. The fact that I get to watch her live her life and I get to be a part of her life is absolutely astounding to me, and I'm so grateful for it. Now, I just got out of a conversation with her where we talked about that video where she listened to all the compliments I made about her, and she was very grateful, but she has so much more wisdom on this topic. One of my compliments was that when she speaks, I take notes, and that is true here, and I want to share with you some of her wisdom because she doesn't like being on TikTok publicly. So if a man is complimenting you, pay attention to what version of you he is complimenting. Is he only complimenting you when you are quiet and humble and listening and supporting? Are all the compliments coming when you're playing a specific role, and does that role happen to align very conveniently with the patriarchal roles assigned to women and the conservative Christian gender roles that women are supposed to adhere to? Now, if you talked to my partner about our early dating relationship, she will tell you that I did not compliment her. It was a concern. She was worried because I was not giving her any compliments for the first couple months, maybe 6 months of our relationship. I'm not good at complimenting people, especially early on in a relationship. Now she says that that's actually a green flag for her, because men who compliment too early on in a relationship use shallow compliments, but they also tend to use compliments as a way to like butter you up, make you feel good, have you drop down your defenses and your barriers. They're trying to make you feel a certain way so that they have more access to you. It's not from a place of authentic admiration. It's a manipulation tactic to try to get you to feel a certain way about him and start to see him as a source of validation through praise. Some people call that love bombing. They're saying things about you that are grandiose and big, but not authentic. It's a manipulation tactic, but it still feels good to hear those things. Absolutely. I think men who compliment, especially the big, grandiose compliments too early in a relationship, are a red flag. That's a red flag. So like my original video said, men often compliment women for how they make them feel. I feel so seen by you. I feel so understood. You really get me. I feel wonderful when I'm around you. It has nothing to do with her. It's about how you are making him feel. Or, like so many of the commenters have said, men only compliment based on looks, which is also about him. You're sexy, and I like that because that makes me feel a certain way about you. I like feeling that my partner is sexy. That also reflects back on me in a certain way when we go out in public. It makes me look good. Men will also use a compliment to try to divert from an important topic or conversation, or try to like soothe your emotions if you're legitimately upset about something. This is inappropriate in every way. If they're bringing out the compliments when you're in an argument or a fight as a way to diffuse the situation, as a way to divert from the important topic that you need to discuss, that is an inappropriate way to use a compliment. So things like, oh, you're so cute when you're angry. Like, no, what are we talking about? Stay on track here. We're talking about an important issue in our relationship that needs to be resolved. We can't just sweep this under the rug with a "you're pretty" compliment. Compliments so often have an agenda. And the only authentic way to compliment someone is if you genuinely admire them. If it is not a compliment from true admiration for who they are, not what they do for you, but for who they are, no. Red flag. Move on. Find somebody else. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch season 7 of Love is Blind. Listen to how the men compliment women. It's rampant.
Men want to be the ones to bestow upon you your attractiveness, bestow upon you your sexiness. They want you to need them to give you your good looks, your hotness, your sexiness, your attraction. So if you don't acknowledge his shallow little compliment about your looks, it's like you might be self-sufficient. You might realize that you can be attractive on your own without him giving that to you, without him ascribing that to you. And if you're independent and okay on your own and confident in your own body, confident in your own sexiness, without him, he doesn't have you in the palm of his hands anymore. And he needs you because in order for him to feel like a man, he needs to dominate you. And one of the ways that he can do that is by convincing you that you need him to give you your sexiness,